Freedom. I'm free. Our kids are really active and smart, but our problem is sometimes we don't have the correct material, instructional material that we should give to our students, because we always get the last thing left over from the education department, and those are the materials that they usually send to the school on the remote island.
The level of resources to Pacific Island countries from donors have been dwindling, and so resources also tend to get concentrated in the main islands in the capital cities, and we are afraid that from such an outlying area as Nukuoro, it will suffer disproportionately from that reduction in the donor resources. Reduced fundings means less opportunities, less educational opportunities, less overture to the world, and they're going to fall more and more behind.
Wherever you go, there's a computer. So when you find a job and you don't know how to use a computer, it's very hard for you. So maybe you can sweep the floor instead of sit down in the table and press the computer.
Well, people there depends mostly on fish for meat and taro. Taro is a plant grown in the mud.
This is the taro. Some of our parents said that they were playing in the taro patch, like they climb up in a taro patch because it's really big.
We're getting enough food, but it depends on how the people could work. Because some people they grow their own food, like banana tree and breadfruit. But some people, when people are lazy to grow things there, that's where they're facing problems.
Most of us now, we're depending, on imported food that the ship used to bring, like rice, flour, bread. And if the ship is late, like this trip, we close up the school for 1 week ahead of the arrival of the ship, just because the kids and even the staffs, they don't have enough food. We need to plant more on the land, like planting bananas, because we've been in this problem for many times. So it's not that we have to just wait and depend on the ship every time. We have to do something.
I think women mostly preparing food for the kids, cooking, washing clothes, and like washing dishes. This is where we used to sleep, our bedroom.
So, what are the mats made out of?
They are made out of banana leaves. That's our main hut for firewood, or what we used to cook, the coconut husk. The men just go fishing and climb the coconut and the breadfruit also.
This is where I work. This is the Nukuoro dispensary.
What are the main health problems on the island?
So far, I don't have only like emergency cases. I don't have much from like chronic diseases.
TB?
TB, yeah.
Leprosy?
Leprosy.
Do people also use local medicine?
Yeah, here they do.
Like for what type of thing would they use a local medicine? For a cut?
Diabetic, for those cut, and all. I think most of the things they have their local medicine here.
Diabetes?
Yeah, diabetes, they do have hypertension, they use their own local medicine.
Yeah, very interesting for people, especially in the mainland around the world, how people in the remote atolls like that, islands like that, how they live. It's not money. They live out of the ocean, and they live out of the land. What do? They work the land and eat and live. And they work they get go to the ocean and fish, and that's all they do. They build houses for their own uses. That's their routine, daily life. Go fishing, come back, and go to the land and get some taro or something to go with the fish, and build houses. That's all they do. Nothing else. No medicine, no matches, no kerosene, no all of products that is produced outside. If those things are not on the island, they will leave. No rice, they will leave.
Before we have a statue here, we call this place where we have to build our church, we call it Marai. That's where we have the statue. We call it Tehinari. That's our God. We pray and worship to that statue. It was carved from a wood. And then when the gospel was introduced to Nukuoran people, and those missionaries who came over, they told them that if you hold something in the past, you will go to hell. So the people here were not too educated. They're not civilized to understand what is good and what is bad. So they throw away the good things and also the bad things. So they take away their statues and put in the cookhouse for firewood. Okay, now they worship to God. All of them worship to. They believe in the Old Testament and the New Testament. There are some other religion who wants to come in and build their church here, but we don't let them because waiting if we have some other relation, and then we have some conflicts because our island is very small and not too many people. But if we split up, it's going to get worse.
Every gathering of the community, there's a six times I'm gonna blow this shell.
Like everything else, I think the magistrate is already commit, and even the senator, the justice, the councilman, and even the leader in Pohnpei and the people that they will work on this the project, that it will channel all kinds of funding that will sufficiently help the people in the long run, instead of asking assistance from outside all the time, and that the people will have a source of income that just come from within their own, and will channel all the program. They have the taro pads, the docking, the office facilities.
This is the highest, this pearl cost $450. We've been working for every week, Monday to Friday, every day. As of now, we only got few experiences in doing this project, but we need more assistance. There was a guy from Australia came here to assist us in doing the project, so we learned something. So we need more.
I think the unfortunate thing is that people are not paying enough attention to these small models like this that actually succeed. And so what you've seen is that even though the Nukuorans have gotten support over the years, it's been minuscule in comparison to the real success that they've had. And yet, meanwhile, you see international donors and government agencies and federal agencies here in the United States pouring millions of dollars into large-scale development projects which don't directly benefit people and which often fail.
It has only one face, and when you look at the face, it's look down. It don't look like up there somewhere. But it look down, and I try to ask why. Our God is Sai or something like that. And what they say, those old people told me that no, he doesn't want anybody to come in, and he doesn't want to look, to seek from the outside world. He have enough for himself. But now you can see that we are facing some of the problem, like short of food and stealing from other people's property, because I don't have any, so I have to take yours.
We're talking about how to adapt to the new world reality, which is globalization. And there is no guarantee of success, but the consequence of failure are not pleasant to contemplate.
On our island, we really like to clean where the parents or like uncles near our home, or our sons and daughter when they die. We really like to clean it and plant some flowers
Often, coral reefs are areas which are very heavily used either for fishing, sometimes done in a destructive way, or for ecotourism, or simply gathering food. A lot of times, even the coral is broken up and exported for the aquarium trade. Once you establish a pro farmers are pretty protective of that area, and so essentially pro farms can act as marine sanctuaries in some ways.
I think what is best for other island like this, I think solar panel is much better than generator.
When you produce something, an article of such beauty as the pearls, there's an amount of pride in the people who produce it. Like, this is the crystallization of our environment, our clean environment, and our effort. This is kind of the gift of nature, of the gods, so to speak.
And she said that what Christ has done for her is very big, but she cannot obey it. She cannot abide by that love. He just he gives to those who help her, but not to those that Christ say, love your enemy and love those people who are poor.
Life, customs, and every traditional way of life is being disturbed. To be honest, it's already been disturbed. It's not like that before. Way back then, it's not like that. So you respect your older brother. You respect your dad. Today, it turns around different thing. You respect only when he give you money. You respect only the person who's got money.
I do look in two ways. One way, people will become independent. They will get what they want. They don't bother other people. They don't go ask people something else besides what they really need because they have enough money. On the other side, if the people are not creating the right protection or the laws to protect the pollution, and all the things will happen from modernized things like generators, high imports. Nukuoro will become a place like a lot of plastics, a lot of tins.
They live hand to hand. They live together. Grab hands to hands. They don't let people fall. They wanted to make sure that your brothers is okay. You wanted to make sure that the affair of the family is okay. But what is happening? What is happening today in terms of Western influence? There's sort of a separation of identity, or what do you call that? It's just that things are splitting up. Families, separated because of regions that are not traditionally recognized. They are sad, but I guess what we can do.
The result from the Kankan here will give us our destiny. After the Second World War in 1947, we've been administered by the Navy, the U.S. Navy administration, and after that we're given to the Interior Department.
There is this misconception of the Constitution and being some kind of documents that would sound and look a lot like the U.S. Constitution, with a preamble and a Bill of Rights and a division of the polity into 3 branches, which is not necessarily how they did things all along. And as a result, there was a certain disparaging of the ways things were being done and the structure of administration, of political control that was starting to be thrown out without the new ways and necessarily being adopted. And that's why the Nukuoro has called a constitutional convention to take a hard look at how they are doing things and how they would like to revise the existing constitution, keeping in mind the non-negotiable parts about democracy and human rights, in order to localize the constitution, so to speak.
We have king with his, panels and all those different responsibilities, and we also have the 10 that represents the leaders of the 10 different clans or families, their power.
The traditional leaders, they're very strong in this, and they make sure that things are balanced, should be respected. You don't just harvest what you don't need, or you just don't fish what you don't need. When you fish, you have to know the traditional way of fishing. Everybody share what they have. It's very strong. What I don't like about it is only one-man rules. I believe in check and balance, get the input of the people. If we finish this constitution that we work on, this is a legislation or a document legally that created by the citizen of Nukuoro. And I hope, or we're looking forward to include or in our constitution include what we see is good from our traditional way of life that we carried on from our ancestor, and what the good things also about the democratic government.